Your dog is asleep next to you right now, or they were last night, and you probably thought nothing of it. That is the part worth stopping on. Because sleep is when every survival instinct an animal carries goes completely offline. No defenses, no awareness, no ability to run. And your dog looked at every quiet corner of your home, every tucked away spot that was warmer and safer and more hidden, and chose you instead. Tonight we are going to talk about what is actually underneath that. There is one thing in particular, we are getting to it at point 7, that most owners hear and go completely quiet. Welcome to Through Dog Eyes. It was never about being warm. Watch your dog on a winter afternoon. Before you have even noticed the patch of sunlight on the kitchen floor, they are already in it. They find the warm spot beside the radiator, the sofa cushion that still holds heat from an hour ago, the fresh laundry straight out of the dryer. Finding warmth is not something they struggle with. They are remarkably good at it. So when your dog walks past the expensive dog bed that has never been used once, past the sofa, past every comfortable option available to them, and climbs onto your side of the mattress at a slight diagonal that leaves you folded into the corner, warmth is not what they came for. Research into dog attachment suggests that where a dog chooses to sleep tends to follow who they feel most bonded to, rather than which surface is most comfortable. But honestly, you probably already knew that. You just never had a reason to say it out loud. They picked you. That is the whole point. Stay with us, because what comes next is something most owners feel every night, but have never been able to explain. And if this is already landing differently than you expected, subscribe to Through Dog Eyes. We are here every week. Without knowing it, you are regulating each other. You already know that being near your dog feels good. What most people do not know is that there appears to be a measurable reason for it. Studies looking at dogs during close contact with the person they are bonded to have found drops in cortisol, the body's primary stress marker. Their breathing slows. Their heart rate settles. The same pattern shows up in humans. Close contact with a bonded dog seems to lower cortisol in people too. Blood pressure drops. The nervous system quiets. Neither of you is doing anything. You are just there next to each other in the dark, and something in both of you responds to that. Night after night, this builds. Your dog's body learns the specific rhythm of your breathing when you are genuinely at rest, the weight of your body when nothing is wrong. So when something shifts, even something you have not named yet, something that has not reached your conscious awareness, what that can look like is your dog already awake and watching before you have moved. Two nervous systems learning each other in the dark. That is what a nightly ritual actually builds. The spot they choose is not random. Tonight, pay attention to exactly where your dog positions themselves. Near your feet, against your back, right beside your head, facing the door. Because what that positioning tends to reflect goes back further than your relationship with them. Dogs come from animals where rest was never fully unguarded. In a pack, members spread across the group during sleep, covering different entry points, staying alert to different directions. Your dog still carries something of that. A dog pressed against your back is covering your blind side. A dog at your feet is positioned where they can move fastest. A dog facing the door is watching the entry point. They know this is a house. The biggest threat tonight is probably the neighbor's cat. But instinct does not ask for a threat assessment before it shows up. Every night, without being asked, without expecting anything in return, they take a post. Think about that the next time you ask them to move over. The position they sleep in is its own language. Your dog curled into a tight ball, nose tucked toward their tail. That shape shields the belly, the softest part of any animal's body. What that tends to look like is a dog who feels safe enough to be near you, but is still holding something back. Not distrust, just a thread of guardedness still present in how they arrange themselves. Now picture a dog completely sprawled, legs out in every direction, belly fully exposed, loose in a way that looks almost boneless. Every instinct an animal carries says, protect the belly. What a dog splayed out beside you looks like is every one of those instincts switched off at once. Some owners feel a small sting when their dog turns away to sleep, but in the world dogs come from, turning your back to someone is one of the highest expressions of trust available. It means you are certain they will not harm you while you are turned away. Your dog is not ignoring you. And then there is the pressed in position, dog wedged as close as physically possible, sometimes in a shape that looks genuinely uncomfortable for them. No translation needed. They rebuilt their internal clock around yours. Dogs are naturally most alert around dawn and dusk. That is what thousands of years of evolution built into their biology. A dog's natural rhythm has no logical reason to align with a human work schedule or a human sleep pattern. And yet here we are, your dog asleep when you sleep, stirring when you stir, already awake and watching in the dim early morning before your alarm goes off, which is either impressive or slightly unnerving depending on how you feel about being observed. This is not something that gets trained into them. It is attention sustained over months and years so consistently that your rhythm quietly becomes theirs. An internal clock shaped across thousands of years of evolution, bending itself around one specific human schedule. Not because there is a reward in it, just because they want to be where you are when you are there. They feel what you are carrying before you say anything. You have had a hard day. You have not said a word about it. You come through the door, you put your things down, and before you have even sat down, your dog is already there, pressed against you, quieter than usual, just there. Research suggests dogs can detect shifts in human cortisol through scent alone. Your body chemistry changes when you are stressed, and a dog's nose, tens of thousands of times more sensitive than yours, picks up on that before you have registered it consciously. Beyond scent, your posture shifts, your breathing changes. The micro expressions in your face you are not aware of making. Night after night beside you, your dog builds a detailed map of what your baseline feels like. So when something deviates from that, even subtly, what that can look like is a dog who is already awake and closer to you than usual before you have moved. They are not guessing. They are reading the person they have been sleeping next to with complete attention every night. If they stopped, it is worth finding out why. A dog who has slept beside you for months or years does not stop without a reason. The first thing worth considering, especially if your dog is older, is their physical health. Dogs tend to withdraw when they are in pain. It is one of the oldest instincts they carry. Do not let the weakness show. A dog quietly moving away from their usual sleeping spot may be telling you something their body cannot say any other way. That conversation belongs with your vet. Beyond health, look at what changed in the environment. A new person in the home, a new animal, a shift in your routine that felt minor to you and registered as significant to them. And sometimes it is emotional. If something startled your dog in that space, if a conflict happened there, if something attached an unsettled feeling to that room, they may be creating distance to protect themselves. They chose to sleep beside you because you were the safest place they knew. If that changed, they are not being difficult. They are still communicating, just in the opposite direction. The night they first chose you, something got decided. Think back to the first time your dog slept beside you. Maybe it was the first night they came home, all uncertainty and new smells. Maybe it took weeks. Maybe it happened so gradually you cannot point to the night it changed. Just that one morning you woke up and they were there, and it felt like they had always been. That progression was not random. Every night they moved a little closer. Something in them was updating, deciding the space was safe, deciding the risk of being completely vulnerable next to you was worth taking. For an animal whose entire history says sleep is when danger finds you, that is not a small conclusion to reach. What research into dog attachment tends to find is that where a dog chooses to rest and how deeply they sleep in someone's presence reflects something about the bond that no amount of training produces. A dog belly up and completely loose next to you arrived at that through 1,000 ordinary nights of nothing going wrong. They decided you were safe. They keep deciding it. Every night they come back and make that same choice in the dark. Not because they have to, because somewhere in their biology, you became the place where it is finally okay to stop being on guard. Tonight, your dog is going to find you. They are going to circle once, maybe twice, and press themselves into whatever space is left between you and everything else. And then they are going to close their eyes. In that moment, every instinct they carry is going to go quiet, because you are there. You have been the reason it goes quiet since the first night they chose your side. They never told you that. They never could, but they showed you every single night. Every position, every pressed-in moment, every slow breath in the dark beside you. None of it was automatic. That was a choice made over and over by an animal that decided you were the safest place in the world. Which point in this video stops you? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe to Through Dog Eyes and hit the bell. Every week we go deeper into what your dog is actually living. They deserve to be understood. So do you.